It's definitely true that, the Earth has oscillated between these extreme climates throughout its history, and often those transitions involve the extinction of many, if not most, of the species alive at the time. How you want to interpret that is a more philosophical question, but that is what happens over and over again. And I do think that because our species is incredibly tenacious and adaptable and creative, especially when we are forced to be, I think it will take a lot to literally wipe every single human off the face of the planet. I think that would really take a lot. I think what we're moving towards right now, unless we intervene properly, is a truly hellish landscape, something similar to Parable of the Sower, maybe even worse than that. But even in that kind of horrific apocalyptic situation, it still doesn't necessitate the true extinction of the human species. I mean, there have been times in our past where the human species went through an immense bottleneck down to maybe thousands of individuals and somehow came back from that. But it is possible. It is possible that we would push the climate to a state in which it could no longer support us, and that would lead to human extinction. I don't personally think that's the most likely outcome, but it is certainly possible. But I just speed is so important in a situation like this, and it is so disheartening how even with the greatly increased awareness of the problem, like it's now accepted that climate denialism is not really the problem anymore. Most Americans accept the reality of climate change, but it's the political, it's these horrible entrenched ties and corruption, between politics and money, and how it's all bundled together in these horrible ways that is really preventing any kind of truly meaningful progress at scale. And it's so piecemeal and disparate. Some nations are doing a much better job than others, and then the ones that are suffering the most are the ones that have the least resources and are also least responsible in the first place. It's just such an awful socio-political, geopolitical situation. And my book is so concerned with like basic biological and ecological phenomena, and there isn't enough room, to go into all of that. I think there are better writers and thinkers and scholars on those subjects, but it's obvious that that is where the solutions lie. That's where we have to really make the changes, because we know enough scientifically about the causes of climate change and the changes we have to make. We know what we're supposed to be doing. The real question is, how do we actually get there? How do we actually find that, enough political and social momentum and really revolution? I think it really requires a major revolution in multiple, massive systems of the world. So it's a truly immense and unprecedented challenge. But and if we don't rise to that challenge, at the very least, I think our civilization and species will be thinned to something unrecognizable, just completely unrecognizable. I don't think anybody can really conceive of exactly what it would look like, and that's part of what is so scary, is how uncertain things are, and how difficult it is to really imagine the true future.